let's go on to, this is a good one. So, could you please say this sound? Gradually bring, what are the two surfaces? Yeah, that's the tip of the tongue and tip of the teeth. It might be just behind. The tongue doesn't have to stick out for this one. You know, it doesn't have to be, which is what, you know, the tongue can be quite genteelly disguised in this. So, let's go from here, and I want you please to move the tongue back slowly. So say this one, tongue back, tongue forward, tongue back, tongue back, tongue forward, tongue forward. So again, the students see that now they're moving along the top of the mouth and the teeth to the tooth ridge, the alveolar ridge, and then just onto the palate. And they can see that just a few millimeters at a time is giving them these different sounds. Another language might have extra sounds in there. English has 3. Another language might only have 2 sounds in there, but English says, no, there's 3. There's these 2, there's these 2, and there's these 2. That's three positions. Let's do that with voiced. Make this voiced. Okay, keep saying it and move the tongue back. Tongue back. Tongue forward. Tongue forward. These instructions are not very difficult once you are proprioceptively connected, or in fact reconnected, because you did it before, with these basic muscles that are making the difference. Here's something else which is interesting too. So you can creep up on sounds from behind. Make this sound. Tongue back. Tongue back. Tongue back. And you get back to a point suddenly where there isn't a second surface for it to connect. You've got this retroflex tongue with not really another surface to hit against. It's kind of vowel-like in that respect. It's a shape rather than a restriction. So this is an interesting sequence. So we've got 4 sounds in a row. Just try it again. So all of these are fun and games for finding sounds and relating them together and seeing that they're not that difficult. Fun and games because you see that very small movements are involved, and fun and games because you are discovering the geography of your mouth and actually using it with the things that move, which is basically lips, jaw, and tongue. There are other things that don't really move, which are also important to this. Say this sound. Now, where's the air coming from? Are you sure? Okay, say this sound. Pinch your nose and see if it stops. Should do. Does it stop? Okay. If not, okay, now make this sound. Again? Okay, so now, where's the air coming from? Why isn't it coming through the mouth, since the mouth's open? What's stopping it? Tongue. This time, the tongue is pretty smart. It's blocking every conceivable air exit point. So make this position, but don't speak. Don't speak. Now, that position that you've got there is blocking all the air. Feel it. And when you make a position without speaking, you notice different things about it than if you were, say it. Now, position without saying. And you are aware in a slightly different way of what's going on. Now, think this, make this position, don't speak, think it, but instead say this. Do you see it's in the same position? Try again. This position, don't speak, but instead. So the tip of the tongue, or the blade of the tongue, is against the alveolar ridge, and you just release it. So you're doing something different, but the position is the same. What about if we think this? Same position, yeah? Here's another one. Think this, don't say it, but instead say, is that the same position? Well, I would say the tongue is the same position, but to let the air out, it's got to release a bit, so the air can hiss out over the top. In that sense, it's a different position. Or we could voice it. So make this one. Okay, don't speak. Instead. So we've got 5 sounds which are coming from the same position. This one, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sounds in that position. What other sounds are in this position? Those 2. Yeah. So this relates to these 2. This relates to these 2. And that relates to those 2. So you've got 3 sounds there, 5 there, and 3 in that position. That's 11 sounds which are just in 3 positions.